Good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News Tonight, the 10 o'clock edition. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and it's going to be an hours-long bulletin. So do sit tight. Let's give you these news updates. Without further ado, let's get straight into the first story. Governance gaps, economic instability, and unconstitutional changes of government are the critical issues facing Africa. Now, Uganda is stepping into the continental role that directly addresses them to the assumption of the chairmanship of the African Peer Review Mechanism. The Vice President, Jessica Alupo, assured the AU delegates of Uganda's capacity to deliver while presenting the APRM in Addis Ababa on behalf of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Henry Okrut is in Addis Ababa and reports.
In a continent grappling with economic shocks, governance concerns, and recurring conflicts, the African Peer Review Mechanism is meant to be a mirror. And on the evening of Saturday, Vice President Jessica Alupo appeared before African leaders to present that reflection.
During numerous AU summits, you decided that the APRM should be provided with adequate financial and human resources so that the mechanism can implement its mandate without hindrance. In this regard, I wish to once again commend the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria for its voluntary contribution to the APRM of $1 million in February last year. We are sincerely grateful.
But this was more than a procedure. Across Africa, questions persist. Are governments managing public resources properly? Are institutions strong enough? Are economies creating jobs for young people? The APRM attempts to answer those questions through peer evaluation.
On behalf of the APRM Forum, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the heads of state and government and all delegates who attended the 35th APRM Summit. Allow me to thank this august assembly for your continued support to the mechanism, and once more encourage those member states that have not joined the mechanism to work towards accession.
From managing oil and mineral wealth to controlling inflation and strengthening democratic systems, these are the real issues under scrutiny as Uganda now takes over from Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune. The responsibility of steering those sensitive conversations remains apparent. Alupo reaffirmed Uganda's commitment to ensuring the mechanism delivers results.
I reaffirm Uganda's commitment to the APRM and its mission, which contributes to improving governance of our beautiful continent and its people. I also wish to submit the draft decision before the Assembly for positive consideration and adoption.
But what does this mean in practical terms? Uganda's APRM focal point minister, Amos Lugorobi, says the mechanism is about leaders holding each other accountable.
The heads of state and government in Africa under the AU agreed that we shall be sitting to assess one another, critiquing, to make sure that we stop this habit of people taking over government militarily, using the gun.
He says Africa cannot afford weak economic systems or mismanaged resources.
Now Africa, particularly Uganda, we are now promoting our coffee across the continent. We have been struggling with exporting processed coffee. Now is the opportunity to sell our coffee to the member states within the continent.
With Uganda now chairing the mechanism for the next 2 years, the expectation is clear that peer review moves beyond reports and translates into reform. Henry Okrut, UBC in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
And in more news, the government has agreed to compensate Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom with 30 billion shillings for 8 square miles of land covering Kakumiro Town Council in Kakumiro District. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robinah Nabbanja, informed the people of Kakumiro that the sitting tenants on the land will be allocated land titles by the government. Nabbanja was presiding over the victory celebrations of the Kakumiro Mayor-elect, Fred Mwesigwa.
Kakumiro district is part of the former Buyaga and Bugangaiz counties that was officially returned to Nyorokitara Kingdom from Buganda Kingdom in 1964 following a referendum vote. Land approximately 8 square miles covering Kakumiro Town Council was handed over to Nyorokitara Kingdom by government with its sitting bona fide occupants.
Ati mukimanyire kurungi ngo itakali tuikaliro town dia Bunyoro Kingdom likaba lya Baganda obu twagalwire ebintu ebya Buganda mu 2013 ekyapa bakitwara Bunyoro ekyahano nange tinyina kyapa nanyo temwina.
Now the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robinah Nabbanja, says that government has agreed to compensate Nyorokitara Kingdom with 30 billion Uganda shillings for the 8 square miles of land to allow the sitting tenants on the land be allocated land titles from government.
Tukaikara na government ya Bunyoro Kingdom baikiriza esente bilioni 30 twakasasulawo 2.5 billion esente ezindi bajja zifuna wiki ekwijeni government ekatwamu kukigula bugula kurugo mu Bunyoro Kingdom and so tutandikire kusasula. We agreed to kuisasura in a phased manner. Omwaka guno gwaja kuwao bajja kuba nabo tubamalirize.
She was presiding over victory celebrations of Kakumiro Mayor-elect Fred Mwesigwa.
White Prime Minister Weihanga itwe abakumiro Town Council tutine physical plan ekusobora kuba netekaniza Kakumiro eno kurungi kurora nti ebintu byakoraki byatambura kurungi.
Ekintu ekyo kikuru muno nikale nimbagambira abantu Town Council tebera kyalo tetusobola kuba Town Council kandi ekasigala nkaki nk'ekyalo. So physical town plan tukugyetaaga bwangu.
The Premier, who is also the Kakumiro Woman Member of Parliament elect, thanked the voters for re-electing her to Parliament.
Ngoza kusima abantu inywena habwokomo wekitinisa president mwetero mungalo za amani. Ngoza kubasima habwokunkoma Kakumiro mukapa akaruru kainji kyali mwebale mweyongere ngalo ngoza kukora omukoro
Mama otuyonsezza bulungi, mama otukutte bulungi, mama banna business tukweyagaliramu, mama woligwa wetuligwa tukutambulirako kagere tuteeka mu ssente tufe naawe. President tulabenga abeera akwongera buli kisanja paka lasti.
Kandi kuli kugonza kwange nokugonza kwa abantu gona akurota nti right honorable ojakuba right honorable Prime Minister 2026 asatu na gumu.
Onaremoye Orawe no simira President Weihanga arabo ni bangamba abachota lobinga ati niwe bakarumpa tinyina gwe natereire simu Museveni tibamulobinga ati no bingo ati abwakita sigara mavivi ne sara bwanga bwaratua akatuwe tiniko.
She urged the people of Kakumiro to forget about politics and focus on personal development.
Kamba gambira abantu baruhanga tuina kwega politics eyensonga kubanga tali buli muntu nti alaba Prime Minister ati bakugwerana tebabumuwe ati balaba abatabumpaire balabuwaiwe
Majegero omukazi ono emirungi byakoze munambanja empi atuuse n'okumutenda ebiremi abasajja omukazi abisongalamye obusobozi bwa.
Members of Parliament have pledged to support all efforts at curbing sickle cell disease. The Member of Parliament for Kween County, William Chemonge, says that government needs to collaborate with civil society organizations to address the burden of sickle cell.
The 2015-2018 National Sickle Cell Survey shows that 0.73% of the population has the disease, and about 17,000 to 20,000 babies are born with sickle cell each year, and 75% to 80% die before the age of 5.
And the number of reasons, the number of factors that actually attribute to this big number, because of 1, lack of awareness, 2, inaccessibility of screening services, 3, inaccessibility of proper care. And when you look at care in most of the remote areas, there are also no specialties like hematologists. You have no specialists who attend to people living with sickle cell disease. So that is why we see the burden being very, very high.
This still implies that Uganda still has a high burden of sickle cell disease, a fact that necessitates directed efforts towards curbing the disease. Since sickle cell is a genetic disease where one of the interventions is strengthening screening for people to know their sickle cell status and testing newborn babies. Now, Raising Hope International Friends took the sickle cell screening campaign to Parliament to show the need for legislators to support interventions geared at reducing the burden.
Because if somebody is saying, let us test all of Ugandans for sickle cell disease, this is one way that will help us to minimize the number of people that are born with sickle cell disease. And when you reduce the number of people that are born with sickle cell disease, it means that the demand of blood in line with the people that need the sickle cell disease is going to reduce. So the blood that has been utilized by sicklers will be utilized for accident victims, will be utilized for mothers that are giving birth, will be utilized for cancer patients.
Too, about the proposal that is coming up, I have understood the need for that policy, and I am willing to support, because I know the complications that we go through. So I'm willing to support the policy.
Recently, the Ministry of Health launched mandatory testing of sickle cell disease for all newborn babies. Adia Nakoche, ABC.
The Minister for Public Service, Wilson Muruli Mukasa, has encouraged stakeholders in schools to ensure that the new curriculum is implemented because it is timely and vital. He was commissioning a multi-billion school and boreholes projects donated by USA-based evangelists to the communities of Chiwanguzi-Chichusa in Luweero district.
The USA-based evangelists from Garden Fellowship Church, led by Pastor Papa Brian, have handed over a school and boreholes projects to the communities of Chiwanguzi-Chichusa in Luweero district. The donation was through the Outpouring Grace Ministries of Pastor Grace Kajoina in Chichusa. At the commissioning, Minister for Public Service Wilson Muruli Mukasa commended the evangelists from USA for the projects and encouraged the communities to own them by educating children. He, however, appealed to the stakeholders in the education sector to emphasize the government new curriculum in the schools.
We have just commissioned this Amazing Grace Primary School here in Senyomo. It's been a very wonderful occasion, but the school has a special significance in that it's the first of its kind in the area. You can see it's a very deep rural area, and it's missionary-based. It's a faith-based school, offering education to the young people here at very, very negligible cost.
The leader of the evangelists from USA, Papa Brian, promised continued working relationship with the Outpouring Grace Ministries.
So thankful that the pastor of the Garden Community Sanctuary Church and his precious family have a place where they can call home during their time of service to the Lord.
The Luweero LC5 chairperson Erastus Chibirango and Pastor Grace Kajoina of the Outpouring Grace Ministries hailed the partnership.
He's the one who introduced me Mr. Seninde. Because if it was not that guy, that's why I'm always humble. I'm humble to everyone.
They have given us a go-ahead. There is a church down there, and we really hope that our people's lives are going to be touched and they are going to benefit. I urge them to exactly do what they are expected to do from the well wisher, that is to send the children to come to school.
The 14th of February, recognized globally as Valentine's Day, has become a widely celebrated occasion among Ugandans. On Saturday, that was yesterday, thousands of individuals across the country commemorated the day with their loved ones. In Nile district, the NRM Secretary General, Richard Todwong, formally presented his sister Innocentia, in marriage to Jacob of Denmark, Mr. Todwong, and tipped the couple to ensure the well-being of their family.
Local residents, including the NRM Secretary General, witnessed a vibrant Valentine's Day celebration as Richard Todwong gave away his sister Innocentia in marriage to Jacob from Denmark in Pirongo, sub-county Nile district. The traditional ceremony adhered to all the customs of a modern traditional marriage, with the attendees, including international guests, observing the proceedings. The ceremony included customary practices such as cutting a ribbon to identifying and seeking out the bride, as well as cutting the cake and exchanging engagement rings. The NRM Secretary General and family members emphasized mutual love and respect for each other among the intending partners.
Our culture is a very rich culture. The function is elaborate for a reason. We overstretch your patience. We check you in many ways so that we gain confidence in you that when our daughter is with you, she's safe, she's protected, everything is covered. But specifically for Innocent, she's my younger sister, she's my follower. She follows me. This function, she really wanted her to get a home, and that was her last wish. And I'm sure she's very happy with what has happened. Look after her well. We are a very sensitive community. If you mistreat our daughter, we can come up to Denmark and get you from there. But we know she's in safe hands. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
So, hen eska hine somal.
An kuna article teno mapola ta petenero mo matero megiganwal eto la merne analoga mamana kanyalone.
Hensia eta en ha so mange ban, and I'm very grateful that today I am coming here to help Innocentia make sure that she is having a proper marriage. And also, since I live in Denmark, I'm already her big brother, because I will take care of her.
The bride's employer, the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, commended the Todwong family for raising well-disciplined and respectful individuals.
So you've got a lady of integrity, a committed lady, intelligent and honest. You're a blessed man. To Innocentia, you are blessed too. Your husband is your friend and looks to be a committed person.
The bride also expressed her gratitude to the residents of Nile district for their support.
And then for the people of Nile, I feel like I have been exposed to a very big number of people that I didn't know in my life before. I'm a very private person, I think, among the family members, and not so many people know me, and today I feel like I've been exposed.
Benon Mukwaya with Philip Aguta in Noya.
Congratulations to the newlyweds. Nakasero Blood Bank has commended members of the International We Love You Foundation for life-saving blood donations. The foundation's dedication supports patients who depend on safe and available blood supplies. Let's take a look.
For more than 6 years, members of the International We Love You Foundation have participated in voluntary blood donation drives at Nakasero Blood Bank.
And we want to really extend our sincere appreciation for the great initiative to the chairwoman, Zangija, of really mobilizing this community to give back the great love of each drop that counts, that is blood, to make sure that our mothers live. Our mothers are able to give birth when they are losing blood. They are able to receive blood, and blood actually is for free. And I want to take this opportunity on behalf of Uganda Blood Transfusion, especially Nakasero Blood Bank, on such a good and great occasion to host these people.
The partnership has strengthened efforts to maintain stable blood reserves for emergencies, surgeries, and maternal health care.
For years, 6 years running, we can't thank you enough, but we thank you for the lives that you have saved, many out there.
Members have turned up to donate blood as part of their ongoing humanitarian activities.
In the world we are living in today, everyone is a potential victim of either an easy life or unexpected disasters. That is why, as members of the We Love You Foundation, we are taking the lead in giving a helping hand to all people who are in need. In order to do this, it is through the examples shown through our founder, Zangilja, who has managed to share mother's love with all people and give a bright future.
So we do believe that if there is enough blood stored in the blood bank, in case of emergencies, arise, and many people may like to use this blood, at that time they can be helped in one way or the other. That's why, as the members of the International We Love You Foundation, we have decided to come together to be able to conduct this exercise so that we can be able to extend the helping hand to our friends and family and also to the people in our communities at large, so that those in need of blood, they can be helped in case at that time they need this blood and their lives could be saved.
Leaders of the foundation reaffirmed their commitment to support community health initiatives.
So we just encourage them to partake in this activity, because actually some of them, they don't cooperate. But we cannot just give up, but continuously encourage them to participate in this blood activity.
For UBC News, I'm Sudat Kaye.
And with that, let's take a short commercial break and be back after these messages.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app. Across Telenga's host communities, families are accessing transformative opportunities. Youth are gaining practical skills that lead to employment. Farmers are getting improved yields and stepping into profitable value chains. Local businesses are joining supply networks once considered beyond reach. Women are accessing programs that open new opportunities and strengthen their voices and well-being. Families are benefiting from improved infrastructure that makes access to essential services easier, faster, and more affordable. Communities are shaping decisions, ensuring development reflects their needs. This is progress you can see, feel, and live every day. It is real shared value, where communities do not simply live near development, but experience it in their lives. And it's about growing together and building a future rooted in sustainable development.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda, La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We're taking you to more news. Brigadier General Peter Nabasa is still battling resettling over 1,000 families as directed by the Minister of State for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja. It is alleged that over 1,000 families were evicted from their land in Kapapi sub-county in Hoima district in February 2023.
In February 2023, over 1,000 families with over 4,000 people, mainly cultivators and pastoralists, were evicted from their homes in Waki North, Kapapi Central and Waki South, Runga and Kiriatete villages in Kapapi and Kijanga, Kapapi sub-county, Hoima district. The residents were allegedly evicted from 2 titled pieces of land owned by different people in Hoima district and Kampala-based businessmen. In October last year, State Minister for Lands Dr. Sam Mayanja directed that Brigadier General Peter Nabasa compensates the evicted people.
What happened? These people, they entered into our land. This is Late Viangere's land, whereby the Viangere land has 4 square miles. They gave out to the community 2 square miles and they remained with 2 square miles. On that 2 square miles, I rent from them 700 acres. Then the balance of the land is for the family of Viangere. We have been staying with the family with no conflict. When the Mayanja directed the RDC to supervise the demarcation. No, the community have the 2 square miles, which is 1,050 acres. Nobody is interfering with them. Then the land for the family, when we are towards the elections, some people forced into our land. They invaded using being supported by the deployment of UPDF soldiers. These soldiers are from Masinde Artillery Division. So we do not want to go into that scuffle since we are nearing the election.
Mr. Mayanja weyaddayo nkatwa tugenda okudda mutaka ne batugaana era mujjukira waliwo amaanyi mangi.
Now my prayer and my request is that it is true we still believe that the president has returned us on the land.
Hoima Deputy RDC Christopher Aine says some land brokers are misleading the residents and they have been bringing more other people from different parts of the country.
So the entire group that was just from the north, they are talking to them whether they can also come and occupy some of that land. So there is a lot of mess. My guidance was that I think because we have some generals in that land, I advise that generals should stay away with their soldiers. All the soldiers should withdraw from land issues because we have a presidential directive concerning that.
The Libyan ambassador to Uganda, Abraham Sultan, has pledged to support to improve the livelihoods of Kakuuto residents in Chotera district by supporting key sectors including clean water, education and social welfare to uplift the lives of residents. The ambassador visited the area at the invitation of the area Member of Parliament, Kaka Ismail Lubega Uthman.
The NRM MP-elect Kaka Ismail Lubega Uthman organized the Thanksgiving to appreciate voters who elected him to Parliament. The event was at Kakuuto Playground. Among the guests was Libyan ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Abraham Sultan, accompanied by Dr. Ibrahim Sali, President of Muhammad IV of African Ulema.
Our true voice, praise Kakuuto higher. We are tired of bad roads, tired of drinking water.
بإذن الله أنا أذكر ليبيا وأذكر دول الخليج ستقوم معايا في هذه المسيرة.
The ambassador donated goats, sheep and chicken to support the Muslim community during Ramadan, including a donation to the district Qadi of Chotera.
His Excellency, very happy, he's excited about it, but he's authorized the club take it on his behalf, slaughter it, and share the meat.
رمضان جاي أنت أذبحها وقسمها صدقة على بنية الصدقة ربي إن شاء الله يجعل مطمئنا إن شاء الله.
The delegation later proceeded to Kakuuto Playground where residents welcomed the ambassador. Several leaders, including the Kabaka's representative Owechitiibwa Seranga Mukasa Joe and the Deputy Resident City Commissioner, praised Honorable Kaka for his early service delivery, even before being sworn in, and asked him to convey their gratitude to the Libyan government.
Amasanyalaze wegatuuka tegalekawo kyekyo otandika okulowooza ku kufukirira era singa oba osobola okugoba ekyo abantu bano abalimye emmwanyi abalimye ensuku abali mu kulima ebinazi ne basobola okufukirira era awo tujja kuba tweyongedde.
Sajja musiraamu naye kiki mmanyi eri obuyisiraamu ana lastu muslimu walakin arifu lislam mulina saddaaka ze mukola andukum sadaqati ta'malu teri saddaaka mu buisiraamu esinga amazzi la yujadu sadaqa fi lislam akthar hammiya kalma. Disitulikiti yange nkusaba seba ambassador okkiriza okwego waholo nga bisatu abantu bange beyagale nga balina amazzi asaluka antoti
kubira muntu yenna agenda kuleeta fujjo nti abanja kalulu buli kalulu bakabalira gye wakalondera era okulonda kaggwa. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ye president wa Uganda. Ate tukyamuyina ne 230 akyaliwo. Kaka Ismaili ye MP we Kakuuto.
In his remarks, Honorable Kaka Ismail Lubega Uthman, together with his wife, pledged committed service to the people of Kakuuto and thanked Libya for his continued support to Uganda.
Bwe tunaabanga tukoze ebintu ebyo bannakakuuto baakoze kye twabasabye tetulina nsonga yonna tetugenda kuba okubeera nga tetubaweereza. Pulezidenti wange, chairman wange owa party, retired general Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, emirimu gyatukoledde nga tuli mu campaign, era maama obubaka bumuwe omugambe mutabani wo kaka abawarabu agenda bamalayo enekyali ntandikwa.
Noting that many Ugandans, including himself and Dr. Sali, benefited from the education in Libya, he also appealed to more development support for his constituency.
Sigenda kubeera nga mbatiiririra mu nsonga yonna. Sigenda kubeera nga neebeera nga ndi mu paaliyamenti. Naye kye njagala okussaako essira bannakakuuto okubeera nga tufuna ku birungi ebiva mu nsi ez'ebweru. Taata wange wuuyo mubaleetedde.
Annaye tusaba na kyoki mugambe abakyala batuyana n'abaana, basinga mmanga batuyana n'abaana ne bamulekwa bali ku byalo bakyatambula tebannagenda ku ssomero. Atuulemu n'akakiiko kaabwe, abantu baabamanyi. Batukolerayo waakiri batufunirayo amasomero nga 5, abaana baffe bagende ku ssomero nga n'agasekendari mwegali.
Ambassador Abraham Sultan pledged continued support to Kakuuto, particularly during Ramadan, and promised to assist in projects related to clean water and education, including the construction of schools.
والنسوة الذين حملوا راية ليبيا then okubeeranga okunyaniza n'okunjagala kwendabyenga kugwera mu bavubuka abali wano n'abakyala bendabyenga bakwatidde waggulu ebendera ya Libya n'eya Uganda. فأنا أدعو الشيخ المستشار لزيارتي في السفارة
okusiibula abantu mu kisiibo
وأكلفه ليكون رئيس ومشرف على هذا الإفطار في شهر رمضان المبارك في هذه المنطقة.
Jabba Saba, Chairman, Nemeya, Abakulembeze abalala, Neseka, okubeera nga mukola ekiwandiiko oba proposal ezituufu ku lukwatagana n'ensonga y'amazzi.
وسأحيلها إلى حكومة الوحدة الوطنية.
Nja kubeera nga ntuusaayo eri gavumenti yaffe.
Benon Mukwaya, Jamil Sekaja, UBC.
The government of Japan has agreed to compensate. The government of Japan has donated medical equipment worth 24 billion shillings to Soroti and Jinja regional referral hospitals. This move aims to strengthening health service delivery in the eastern region.
Our first stop was Soroti Hospital. While handing over the equipment, Japan's ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Takuya Sasayama, reaffirmed his country's commitment to supporting Uganda's development agenda across key sectors, including health.
As JICA representative was explaining, our commitment to Soroti or Uganda did not start yesterday. It started in the early 2000s, and this is one of the deliveries that we become concrete today. In fact, not only here in Soroti, but also we have done also in Masaka, Hoima, Port Photo, Guru, and Arua.
There was also emphasis on the importance of proper maintenance to ensure the equipments serve their intended purpose. The donation as supported through the Japan International Cooperation Agency includes anesthesia machines, electrosurgical units, general surgery instrument sets, laboratory equipment, operating lights, and dental X-ray machines.
Diagnosis diseases have evolved, have kept on changing. So there was need for having new equipment. This equipment is not manual. Most of it have electronics. They have technology, new technologies in them. Now, the biggest thing now is 3 or 4 things. One of the biggest challenge is maintenance of this equipment. The usage of this equipment, they have taken us through, we know how to use them. The biggest skill here in the equipment, we can now do endoscopy from the mouth, the esophagus, up to the stomach. Pick up these diseases early. Then we can now do state-of-the-art eye care. really look inside the eye, make diagnosis. Then we have equipment in physiotherapy. We know most of the people are getting old. You have a back pain you cannot explain. You have been going to the witch doctor or your grandmother to start massaging you. We can now do that professionally here in Soroti Hospital.
After Soroti, the next stop was Jinja Referral Hospital, which is one of the largest health facilities in eastern Uganda and serves a vast population across Busoga and neighboring areas and often faces pressure on its services. This assortment of medical equipment by the Japan government will thus help reduce the strain.
The Referral Hospital received a total of 641 pieces of medical equipment. 471 are here on main campus, and 170 are in Nile campus. We have two campuses. This main one, there is 1.5 kilometers away on the other side of the main road, which we shall also visit. So we receive this equipment, and the total value of this equipment is about 445 million Japanese yen, which translates to about 2.9 million US dollars, and which is approximately 10 billion Uganda cedis. And we appreciate that. Training on medical equipment use has been done, and the equipment are already in use, as will be seen during the hospital tour.
Stakeholders commended Japan for the strong bilateral ties and urged hospital management to safeguard the equipment.
On behalf of Japan International Corporation Agency, JICA, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the government of Uganda for its strong leadership and continued collaboration in achieving the health sector. Uganda has made remarkable progress in improving key health indicators over the past decades. The reductions in maternal, infant, and under 5 mortality rates are achievements to be proud of. These gains clearly reflect the government's commitment, the dedication of health workers, and the support of development partners. At the same time, we are all aware that Uganda's growing population has placed increasing pressure on the healthcare system, particularly at regional referral hospitals. These hospitals play a pivotal role in providing specialized and advanced medical services. Yet, many have faced challenges due to the outdated or non-functional medical equipment.
Japan's ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Takuya Sasayama, pledged his government support to other infrastructure developments, like the railway to link Uganda to Kenya and the coast.
Well, Jinja is a big city, of course. It's a gateway from the regional country to Uganda and further to the south and east. Not only famous for the source of Nile, tourist attraction, but we are happy to see this project done after we have done the Jinja Bridge. We are looking forward to improve the inflow of goods from neighboring Kenya. We will work on the railway. We will work on the highway. We will work together with World Bank and other donor community to enhance the regional connectivity for the East Africa community.
The two events were attended by several leaders, including NRM Eastern Region Vice Chairperson David Calvin Echodu, who pledged continued lobbying to boost services at the facilities.
Health is one of the fundamental aspects of our manifesto as NRM. And I'm very excited to see that the manifesto is being implemented, and we are working very hard to see that it continues to be implemented as we build the health of our nation. Health is a foundation of whatever we're going to do, because we can't talk about wealth creation, development without health. So with that, I want to take opportunity on behalf of NRM, on behalf of the government of Uganda, to thank the people of Japan Your Excellency, thank you. And to the people of Japan, we thank you. On behalf of NRM, I also want to thank the Ministry of Health, your leadership, for implementing our manifesto for serving the people of Uganda with health care. Special thanks to the PS for considering Ginger, as this hospital serves a lot of people, over 5 million. We are very grateful that our people will get services from the equipment. I want to pledge to the hospital leadership that we continue to work with you to lobby for the provision of a specialized power lines to support the hospital.
A delegation from Lancashire University Veterinary Medicine has applauded Uganda's tourism sector. They promised to attract students at the university to visit to improve on their veterinary astuteness. This was after a visit to Ngamba Island's home to 55 chimpanzees.
It's such an incredible experience to see these chimpanzees who have had terrible abuse and trauma in their early lives coming here to Ngamba Island and being able to live in a natural setting, exhibit their natural behaviours. Chimpanzees are like people. Sometimes they love each other, sometimes they argue, sometimes they shout, they like their food, and they get to play and run and climb and interact with each other and do all of those important social behaviours here at Ngamba, and that's a really beautiful thing for us to be able to experience. So facilities like Ngamba Island are really important for science, for us to be able to continue to perform behavioural observations and welfare research on chimpanzees to better understand them and provide for them. And Ngamba Island provides a great opportunity for science research colleagues within the School of Veterinary Medicine and also for our students to be able to learn more about chimpanzees, understand their behaviours and be able to progress animal behaviour and welfare research.
This has been an amazing day. It's been wonderful to see the chimps in their environment and also to understand the history of how some of them came here. It's a beautiful facility. It's very calm by the lake. And so we do hope that many of our colleagues from the UK will also be able to come and experience it. I think the keepers here do an amazing job, and it was lovely to see where it all started, the facilities they have for caring for them and making it as natural for them as possible. We've learned so much, and we hope we will be able to share that and invite colleagues and friends to come and experience the magic of this island.
Right. Whoa. Yeah,
So, Mchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. Huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later. Huh?
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. We now take you into the world of sports. This weekend, the first swimming league Met of 2026 started at the Kampala Parent School in Naguru as many athletes look forward to a successful 2026. Let's take a look.
Now, national record is going down.
from Peyton Swamp 18 months ago, going down to Zara, counting down 111
This weekend, the first swimming league meet of 2026 started at the Kampala Parents School in Naguru, as many athletes look forward to a successful 2026. Swimmers participated in the 100-meter breaststroke, 50-meter backstroke, 800-meter freestyle, 200-meter butterfly, 100-meter individual medley, and the 200-meter freestyle.
Knees in line with your shoulders. But what's important, I love the effort. 153.
Christian Buisho, Zara Mbanga, and Kyle Kawesa were among the athletes that impressed at the meet.
Into the final stage, just want to be a touchdown. She got it, then she got it.
The athletes spoke about the gala and their expectations for the year ahead.
My own personal performances have been really good for just the start of the season. I'm really excited for this new arrangement where league qualifies internationals. I think it will be very beneficial in the time management aspect, just like this league has been able to demonstrate.
It has really helped me. It has given me like a heads up for like the competition that's coming up from the year. Because like I never expected these guys to be that competitive, but now it has showed me that it's gonna be a tough year, and it has shown me that I need to work really hard.
I did my 2 races, 100 breast and 50 backstroke. 100 breast I went 1:16, but I wanted to go faster than that. 50 back I went 32, but I wanted to go 29, so I think 29 will be the goal for this year. What I like about League One, that's it's calm, it's easy, it's just for fun. Swimming is for fun.
Swim clubs will now wait for the Starlings Juvenile Juniors meet at the end of March, with the second league meet and the Dolphins Juniors slated for April. Marshall Mera Victor, UBC News.
The 2026 Source of the Nile Marathon has claimed Maxine Ginger, and our reporter has more details.
Close to 200 runners have taken part in the 2026 Source of the Nile Marathon that started and ended at the Hared Gym in Jinja.
By organizing and being partnership with Uganda Athletics Federation, it has a very big impact on the athletes and promoting Ugandan athletics and the talent we have in Uganda.
It went through areas like Jinja's main street and the outskirts of this eastern Uganda city that has over the years provided a perfect venue. In the women's category, Uganda People's Defence Forces Cherop Kerin edged all women in 1 hour, 12 minutes and 34 microseconds, with police club's Chekomoi Esther in second.
Being the champion, it motivates me. At least it makes me work more harder and at least reflects the future ahead.
The prison's duo of Leah Chelangat and Venice Chemutai were third and fourth, while prison club's Joan Chebet finished fifth. To Uganda Athletics Federation, the marathon was a success that augurs well with plans for the future. In the men's category, Uganda People's Defence Forces runner Alex Kiplagat needed 1 hour, 2 minutes and 4 microseconds to emerge triumphant.
I didn't know that I was going to win, but God has made it.
Arua Club's Isaac Masai was second. Uganda People's Defence Forces Dennis Cherotich third. Nyeko Dismas of Police fourth, with teammate Abel Chebet in fifth. The top runners from this marathon will be expected to lead Uganda's charge for honours on the international stage.
And that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight and the weekly news. Tomorrow is a new day. Please do enjoy. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark Arnold. Have yourselves a good night.